How's it going? How's it going, my peeps? CPAP, what's up? Big Rich. Roscoe, what's up? Yukon. Wait for it. Yukon's gonna say something Santa Claus related. Thank you, Juan. I appreciate that. Jonathan Wheeler. Big Rich. What'd you say there? What's the situation here? Well, oh. Alright. You watched Captain Jim video, seemed like a nice guy. He was, man. He was. Alright, clickbait. Here we go. Here's my pool. There's the pool. And here's my beverage. So there you go. Holding phones is hard. CPAP. I learned it by watching you. Yeah, man, guys. I have beverages in the freezer. Living the life now. Yeah, man, my backyard doesn't look as pretty as Mr. Roscoe there. What? No Modelo? No Modelo. No, my wife bought this pool. She just now got it inflated. And I told her she needed to buy one of those electric pumps, because there's no way you're filling this with your lungs, right? And so she went and took the dog for a walk, her and the daughter, and I'm in charge of making sure this doesn't overflow. I don't think it's going to overflow. They think they're going to get in it tonight, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, Big Rich getting drunk. Pale Riders in the house. You clickbait, CPAP. So I'm out here outside watching the pool, and oh man, it's you guys saw Jeff's live feed, man. He's had a day for sure. I think we all have to a certain extent, but when it rains and pours, right? Where's the beer? No beer. Not right now. Not right this second. I'm in this uncomfortable chair watching the pool. Here's my beverage. And there's my pool. Right there. We don't need none of that fancy chlorine and pumps and stuff. So, it ain't Fiji, so no, it isn't. A few seconds from now, frog splash in the pool. No, we saw one of these like at someone's yard. I thought, you know what? Let's get one of those. Just something to wade in. Like I said, I don't think this thing's going to be full by the time my wife gets back. I don't deserve an age in my show. The one who deserves to be able to relax is Jeff. Give me $100 if I belly flop in it. How would I film it though? I get my phone wet. How about I just do it and tell you that I did it, and you take my word for it? Couldn't wait at home, nothing to do, so hey. Yeah, I was in Oklahoma City, and I've made a new rule. Don't go there if I need to be home. Seems like I always end up in Oklahoma when I need to be home, and there's just not there was a few loads that Jeff had found, but they were already gone by the time I got the call on them. And then the brokers were playing the whole not real cities games. and a couple of them would come up on their rates, a couple of them the load times didn't work. And when you're trying to do a specific load, man, it's just a lot harder to put together. So I took the hit and came home. Not like a 600-mile hit like, Roscoe, who went sightseeing last weekend, but, $50 to the fuel wallet, But the important part is I'm put the phone on the chair, belly flop, do the ice water challenge. The pool's not full enough to belly flop in it. Juan wants to buy me a new phone. Remember, Juan, I'm using an Android. It's not waterproof. Belly flop bust. So, but yeah, it seems like when I need to be home, I go to Oklahoma and I struggle to get back. Now, there's plenty of loads coming out of the area, and the broker that I just did the load for had one in the area. However, it didn't load till like 6, 7 o'clock tonight, and I had already started my clock, and I know the shipper because I used to do it when I used to work for that company, and I know that they don't load you within 2 hours. So, and their place is a nightmare. So, I still have my $5. I'll give it to you. But yeah, it's Harold's having a rough day today. He had a rough day yesterday. Man, it's something's in the air, guys. It's really it's been a day. Finding out about Jim and the situation of why I had to come home. And man, life is short, guys. There you go, Big Rich. Trucker Daddy, what's up? Just had a good dinner with the family. We actually sit down at the table and eat dinner. My brother snagged a load out of your hometown to Chambersburg, PA next week for $3,300. Yeah, this could be a good area, CPAP. I have no problems getting out of here. Especially if you want to go to places like PA and that kind of thing. No, my Samsung S5, if you belly flop with, I'll give it to you. That's going to take a minute, Juan. I'd be curious to see what... I bet you I know the shipper your brother got. Why did you come home? Everything okay? Trucker Daddy, I had a friend of mine I've known for about 25 years. He passed away on Monday. And his... they're calling it celebration of life, so I'm assuming he was cremated. Is tomorrow. So... Full moon, yeah? It is a full moon. I'm looking around like it's up in the air already. So, and then I don't know if you guys saw my last video about Captain Jim. It's funny, Big Yeti called me today, and he was curious if we were talking about the same person, and we were. So I just talked to him. The last time I talked to Jim, he was checking up on me because of my ankle. That was the last time I talked to him. So that was in April. And I believe I joined his last couple of live feeds, and he was talking about this cushion that he bought for his seat and how much of a difference it made on his back and everything. And he was telling me about he did a video about compression socks, about getting blood clots and ways to avoid them and stuff like that. So I think he was trying to get healthier. And I don't know what he passed away from. I don't know if it was a heart attack or a stroke, but he's only a few years older than me. So, and the friend of mine that passed away this week, he was the same exact age I am. So, he died of a heart attack. And so it's time to do something. Right, CPAP. And I enjoyed your video you did yesterday about your weight loss and all that. Big Rich, you got some news? What's that? You gonna reveal it here, or I'll tell you on the phone, call me when you're back on the road next week or whatever. Okay. All right, Big Rich. I encourage anyone to quit smoking. Tell you what, guys, my dad died of lung cancer. And, you know, and you see these people, you know, smoking a cigarette, and they're like, oh, you got to die someday, you know, blah, blah, blah. I can't think, well, I can, but there's not many painful deaths that is as bad or is worse than dying of lung, you know, because you don't just like die in your sleep. You know, people talk about when they're laying in bed, their back breaks because of the chemotherapy, just weakens your bones and everything. And it's not a quiet death. It really isn't. It is a painful, agonizing death that your family has to endure watching you. And so, Big Rich, I am very happy to hear that you're quitting smoking, because, you know, every time I see someone that I like, a friend, you know, that smokes a cigarette, man, there's a little bit of inside me that it's real sad, because it's almost like you can predict the future. Now, you hear these, oh, my grandfather smoked cigars until he was 80, blah, 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 you know, that kind of thing. But the reality is that happens. Just like a skinny person can go to McDonald's and not get fat by eating it. It can happen, but that's a rarity. That's an exception to the rule. You know? And if you're already dealing with other health issues, cigarette smoking just makes it way worse, you know? So I'm very happy to see Big Rich has quit smoking. Yeah, now we got to get Roscoe to quit. I smoked for 24 years, quit about 6 years ago using an e-cig vape before it was vaping. I've cut way back on sodas. I'm done smoking. I've been exercising now. I just have to get my diet in order. Big Rich, you and I will support each other. How's that? 3-day fast? That's a good idea, little Viking coach. You're right, Jason Perry. Nobody's promised tomorrow. My little sister, Stu says, my little sister died from breast cancer. Spread in her body before they caught it. They gave her 6 weeks to live, and she lives 7. I'm sorry to hear that, Stu. My condolences. You know, here's something. So, when my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer, it only took 12 months for him to pass. And my mom, you know, my parents used to keep their cigarettes in the refrigerator, you know, in the drawer, not in the drawer, but in the door, right? And the minute my dad was diagnosed, my mom quit smoking. They both quit smoking, okay? And they quit cold turkey. Of course, you know, my dad was going through all this health stuff. But my mom quit cold turkey and never looked back. And then shortly after my dad had passed, I was going through my mom's fridge helping to clean it out, and there was still a pack of cigarettes in there. And she wasn't, you know, there was never a temptation. You know why? Because she saw the agonizing situation that my dad went through. Watch Thomas Seyfried. Cancer as metabolic disease. Says the Little Viking Coach. Jonathan Houston. Little Viking Coach, you have a very funny and parody channel, but it sounds like you're pretty serious about health. Except for that one burger you ate. Roscoe and Hales, I don't. Says Juan. It's different for different people is true. That 112-year-old WW2 survivor said the secret to long life is whiskey and cigars. Right. You know, I mean, look at Ozzy Osbourne, right? Ozzy Osbourne, I learned this in an interview. He was actually interviewed by doctors because the dude is still alive. He should have died 4 times over with all the drugs and alcohol he's abused. And he's still alive, you know. And I know several people that should be dead by now and they're not. You know. And then you got people that clean up their act that die years later of heart attacks, you know, because of the damage they did 5-10 years ago. Last time I quit smoking, I woke up in the middle of the night choking on my own mucus. 8 years now. Remember George Burns? Yeah, I remember Spooby. You do regular fasting? Yeah, Chad Boblet talks about that fasting, man. He said he went on a 9-day fast, and you can just tell in the pictures his skin looked great. His eyes were clear. He said that his eyesight was like sharp as a tack. And I remember when I had to do a day fast, my eyesight actually got better. So it's getting kind of dark out here. So dark I can't even see the level of the pool. When I was with Epps, a dispatcher there was diagnosed with lung cancer, says Pale Rider, and he was in his 30s, never smoked a cigarette in his life. He passed away not long after being diagnosed. Zach says, my wife's grandma died from cancer, never smoked or drank her whole life. Like dead by 60. Yeah, see, Pap, Little Viking Coach talked about Scott the Trucker. I've subscribed to him, but I haven't watched anything yet. I haven't been much on YouTube here lately, to be honest with you guys. I've caught a couple of Jeff's. I always catch Jeff's live feeds because sometimes they're almost like trucking meetings. And then I catch Big Rich when he goes live if I can, and then CPAP and Pale Rider, and that's been about it. So every time someone comments, it lights up my face. So all the lightning bugs are out. You guys can hear the traffic. I live pretty close to a major street. So uh-oh, I'm out of my beverage. The mosquitoes are eating me up. Hey, Snore Lord, I'm having a beer watching the ride, listening. Good deal, man. Always got to check out a Big Rich live feed. Never know what's going to happen. Right, Big Rich? You might shoot guns. You might talk about the spot market. You might just curse somebody out. Either way, it's always a fun time on your live feed, right? My brother died at 53 in 2013 from brain cancer. Yellow has become my creed. Enjoy it every day. You only live once. Took me a minute. Anthony T, what's up? Every time I look, Spooby says every time I see a CalArc truck on 35, I look to see if it's Pale Rider. Spooby used to be real easy to spot Pale Rider because he had the big word Pale Rider TV on his windows on that ProStar, but he hasn't done that for his Kenworth yet. So his Kenworth doesn't stand out with the others. So, you know, hopefully he'll fix that soon. Someone needs to book him a load through Joplin. I got some new numbers for my trailer today. If you guys watch my video with when I'm running down the road with Harold, he makes fun of my trailer numbers. And what it is the dealership gave me these numbers and they were like separate, you know, whereas when you go to Joplin, you can buy numbers, you can have them all together, so they they're straight when you put them on. And I put them on haphazardly in the cold so I can get on down the road. But so today I bought some new numbers and they look nice. Now I look semi-professional. Southeastern has a driver, 80 years old, gets a 2-year card. Dang, that's cool. But yeah, so Pale Rider needs some new numbers. Or new letters for his truck. Just look for the chrome. He does have a lot of chrome now. He's shiny. Dude, the thumbnail of this speed was super bright and now it's super dark. Since you own your own trailer, you should try renting it out as advertisement space. Spooby, I don't know. That's what Little Dog has kind of done. He's got his sponsors. And he's got he's got several sponsors on the trailer. I don't know, man. Those vinyl graphics are expensive. And, a lot of companies don't like advertising on trailers because let's say I have a wreck. Like, for example, if a Swift truck that's pulling a Walmart trailer has a wreck, well, what's on the news? It's the Walmart trailer. So a lot of advertisers, they just want to, a lot of companies just want to advertise their own stuff on their own trailers. Now, when the trailer gets too old to pull, then I'll throw it in a field somewhere and then someone can pay to advertise on it. Cancer feeds on sugar, eliminate sugar. I agree with you, Little Biking Coach. It's called nighttime, big rich. Alright, Brent. Brent is always so friendly. I regret that I did not get to meet you in person in Matt's. It's witchcraft, Pale Rider. I just don't mess with the dark arts. Has any of you guys seen like higher traffic volumes than normal? Man, I was on I-44 between Oklahoma City and Tulsa. Man, it was like Mother's Day or like everybody's already started, the 4th of July stuff already. I said already twice in a sentence. Can you get the Pale Rider TV logo on your trailer? Sure, if you pay for it, Pale Rider. Spooby says, all I haul is Walmart trailers. I've wanted to wreck a few. It was funny, when I was a company driver, I picked up an extra lease trailer, and it still had Rush Trucking out of Michigan on it. And on the front, on the nose, and actually on the tail too. And I called up my safety director and I said, hey, I can wreck anything I want and they're going to blame Rush Trucking. She did not think it was as humorous as I did. Dude, it was a nightmare in South Carolina. Backed up for 8 miles on the southbound side of 85, says Rich. Yeah, man, 44 remind me of 81 there in Virginia. No, I think so. But then my phone's been doing this weird signal thing, man. I tried talking to Pale Rider, tried talking to Yeti, and tried talking to Christian Trucker today, and my phone kept doing this weird signal thing. It did that last night when I was talking to Jeff. And all of a sudden it stopped, and I was fine. And it wasn't just the phone. It was like my other phone and my other headset did the same thing. So it wasn't like one device or the other. Fort Worth was unusually backed up way before getting into the city limits on 35W. Pale Rider went through Houston today, had some fun. CPAP wants to marry James. Why? It sounds like traffic was crazy all over the state today. All over the country. Yeah, it was, man. It was. It really was. Now, I didn't have any issues in Oklahoma City, but, there was a backup on 44 through a construction zone. There was a backup in the construction zone in Oklahoma. It's like people just don't want to merge when they're supposed to. I've got some GoPro footage of a car cutting me off today I'm going to put up. You deliver tractors today, CPAP? I've done those, man. That's a good gig. Yeah, I agree, Anthony. Air Vaquero, okay, start over. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this. That's my pool. And then here was my beverage. Right there. See? Very misleading video. So you didn't miss much, Air Vaquero. Big Rich, Jeff sent me a few loads out of Oklahoma City. And, you know, trying to get back to Springfield, that was the challenge because I got a funeral tomorrow. Maria Lynn, traffic will be bad in Canada this weekend. It's going to be Canada Day. Oh, yeah. He's water drunk. You ever notice that when you eat fruit, you're hungry right away versus when you eat fat food? On the same token, though, here's what happens sometimes. It's what I've learned. Is, you know, like everybody makes a joke when you eat Chinese food, you're hungry an hour later. Here's what happens. If you can consume a ton of calories, like you go to McDonald's and have a super value meal, and you consume like 1,500 calories, right? But there's no nutrients to it. Your body is still craving nutrients. And so that's why, you know, after you eat something like that, you might be hungry an hour later because your body's still telling you, hey, you gave us something, but it's not great, you know? Because when I went on my juice fast, I was getting nothing but nutrients. So the body was never hungry. I fasted for 60 days, 60 days, and lost a pound a day. And I was never hungry. Maybe when I first started in the beginning, but when you're getting those kind of nutrients, and I'm not talking like V8, I'm talking like actual, like I went to the produce department, cleaned it out, and juiced it. And it's like free basing Mother Nature is what you're doing. And you never get hungry because you're getting those nutrients. I hang in the clothes lane but maintain my spot in line to make people wait their turn. My buddy has a contact in Oklahoma City that goes all over. I could have reached out. Oh, okay, Big Rich. Well, I'll have to remember that next time I go to Oklahoma City. Dead calories, you're right, Big Rich. Because fruit turns into sugar quick, but fat as protein takes longer to digest. Yeah, eat an avocado with that fruit. I'm good for a while eating those large Jack Link beef jerkies. Keeps me tied over until I stop in the evening. But, alright guys, I'm going to check on this pool. And, yeah, there you go, Spooby. That's what I was watching, and that's what inspired me to do it. And a friend of mine and I went and did it together. I think, honestly, I lasted 56 or something days because I had a birthday dinner to attend to. But I did it through the holidays. July 4th has been independence in America for the last 242 years, says Big Rich. I just ate a banana, apple, and peach 15 minutes ago, and I'm starving now. Big Rich. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Like I said, man. Enjoy life, man. It's too short. So, see you.